Hello and welcome into another tutorial. And now I'll be teaching you how to use the motion tracker data and how to implement your 3D object into real environment. There's plenty of tutorials for simply tracking of the geometry or tracking the footage and be able to place the object there. But I decided to kind of teach you also the way how to embed it and make something like interacting with. So I decided to record some of those door panels, which I will be later on animating in and tracking things inside of the real environment, which I find is a little bit more challenging. And also I use this opportunity to show you how to work with Mixamo and combining various different animations. I couldn't decide which scene to use, so I developed actually two scenes. One with pandas next to the river shot. Originally, there was supposed to be like a fox cute pirate. I was just doing a bunch of different experiments, and then I landed on the final, which you can see here, where it is like happy pirate shooting by got shot by some kind of like system which decided that he's an evil pirate. But the technique is the same for the panda shot as well. I can show you the various different options where I was using this technique. It's pretty powerful, and I was using it, for example, on the job we are working at the mill with Ilya Abukanov and many other artists. Here you can see that we had like shots which which were shot with a drone, and then we are tracking in all the elements, all the stuff we are putting there in. The same we did with those homes, with these devices. So it is a technique which you can actually use in the movies or even in just fun projects. As I was using here, I was like using it in LA. I was recording this troopers over here. Then I had like this kind of crazy lady flying around the lake in LA. Here we have this guy just kind of chilling here and holding the tree. So it is the same technique all over again, and the sky is the limits for your imagination. So I hope you can try this out, and I would love to see what you create with this technique. And also I'll show you one more, which was actually quite popular, which was this one. Again, I was working with Ilya Abukanov, and this is quite popular on Instagram as well. So this is just what you can achieve that. Here are the models I was using. I used the Viking ship from George Klein. Let me just load this lovely model I use as a ship floating on the sky. Then we have another pirate Caspar from Wolf 3D. Then I will teach you how to bring this character alive, use the Mixamo, and blend different type of Mixamo animation together. So that's kind of fun one. Another thing we will learn how to animate is this Canon, and it has already blend animation. It comes in the blend file, so we'll have to convert it into FBX and somehow prepare it for our later animation. So that might happen oftentimes when you're working with some models, how to prepare them, how to work with them further, and how to adjust your assets to your needs. Another thing we are using here, we are some animated characters. This character was quite cute, so I added him huge saw, which could be a little bit more threatful. And I will just use this one as one of the characters which are coming toward our main character falling down. Here is this utility robot, which is coming with no animation. So I will teach you how to use the bond or joint structure and how to make those objects or those hands basically animated to make him look like kind of evil robot with two injections. So that's the next thing we'll be looking at. And one of the other stuff we'll be learning, the third robot. Again, I will use the Mixamo because this is kind of looking like human-inspired character, not a human-inspired, but it has humanoid sort of by the hands and legs. And we will need to adjust the weights we get from the Mixamo. The Mixamo works amazing, but we might need to do some changes over here. So that's another model from Vishnu B, and also I didn't mention here, this is from the Nick Heitzman, and this one is from Komov. So I just want to make sure, big applause to all those creators. And we have another one from Ignatz. So I don't want to fly through it too quickly because the authors does matter, and I'm so grateful. There's so many amazing models out there which you can work with, and you don't have to reinvent the wheel. This is a really cute one. I didn't end up using it at the end, but I felt this is kind of cuter pirate. But I don't want to be too childlike, but I think it's still pretty good. So I'm just showing you this model as well. It's from Harrison Hag 1, and this is the original model I was using for the pirate. So you can go with that one as well. Here is just the evil eye, which I'm using for the machine gun to kind of use it as I don't want to say word AI, but more like some kind of system, which is like deciding who is bad, who is good. And from Alexei Rozumny. So really, actually, yeah, I like this detail of the eye. This is the HDR textures I'm using. I was trying to make something similar, just the road. There's some cars around, some nice daylight. I use it as an HDR texture. And here we have a few textures from ambient, CG, just the metal textures. Again, you can use whatever shaders you prefer, but I was looking for some PBR textures, which give us some displacement, texture, and rough map. So I use those few ones. And in the original model, as I told you before, I was using the pandas. I'm not using it in final, but here from the Bernardo Lucas, I mean this, I don't know, the Vietnam military panda or what is this, or ninja panda, I don't know. It's pretty cute. I found it really entertaining because I wanted to make the tribal pandas who kind of trying to be threatful. I give one of them this like spear stone from Lion 29. So again, you could create some kind of like low poly spear quite quickly, but those are really good assets ready to use. So I never say no. Last two models I was using in the alternative animation. I'm not going to be teaching you, but if you want to try, you can use it as the same way of animation. I use this Canon from Lisklight. I'm not sure if I'm reading it right. I'm sorry for my pronunciation. So that's another one, which I think is pretty nice. And then the last model, which been used for this project, was the campfire. Again, this is for the alternative scenes with pandas. So this was where I made the soup, getting ready and the boiling water for our hero. Like if you would be interested in, and if you really want to, what I could do eventually, because it's not covered in this tutorial, is how to make this explosion with X particles. I mean, because I ended up using lasers at the end, I won't teach you right now, but if you would be interested in, I can definitely show how I build it, or we can figure out how to make even like more detailed simulation. So that's about it from the scene. This is a really fun one, so I hope you will enjoy it and you will love it, and see you in there.